Yep, it's live now. Hi everyone, welcome to, where are we? Well, welcome to Ecamm for Educators. Hi. we kind of jumped in and gave ourselves a an early start because we're having trouble with live streaming. But I was just we were searching before for the Zoom settings. So I thought it might be helpful for me to show this to you. So in the new, so Zoom had a big redesign about a month ago or so. Huge redesign. They didn't really change any functionality, so to speak, but they moved everything. Now, if you're in Ecamm for Zoom, if you're using Ecamm for Zoom, you're not going to see any of these changes yet because Ecamm for Zoom is built on the SDK, which has not been updated yet with these changes. The new SDK is updated. So when they push another beta, you will see these changes. But if you're in regular Zoom or when the new beta comes out, you will see all this. So I just want to, and I'm using an early version of the new beta. So that's why I have it like this. So I just want to show you when someone suggested to get to your statistics, you have just an easy way is to go to your video settings, your audio settings, and then you can click through. In the new style, when you go to your camera, you click on the little arrow thing next to it and you go to settings, video settings, you get a single panel with video and effects. Same thing is true for audio. If you go back, it'll take you to something that looks like this. This is the new in-meeting settings for Zoom, where you've got video and effects, you've got audio, display and controls, recording, share screen, and accessibility. But importantly, you don't have other things like your statistics. Those aren't here. The way to get to those is to go from your Ecamm for Zoom panel here, click on the three dots, and choose Zoom meeting settings. They have to change the labeling, but this will bring you to your Zoom app settings, as it were, and then you can access statistics. It's a crazy change that they made. I understand why they did it, because I mean, what normal people actually look at their statistics, but for those of us who do, to have some things hidden and other things not hidden is really challenging. So that's where this all came. That's where my confusion came from, why I couldn't find the settings. Usually you can go up to the green shield and then click on the cogwheel from there. That's gone also. The green shield no longer gives you the meeting information. You can't access settings from there. It's all weird and different. So, but if you need to get to that, that's how you access it. Go to your Zoom.
David, do those right arrows open now? When you were in the, the, what do you call it? The carré, the V on the side. If you go back to, click back. Yeah, do those now open separate, like menu submenus?
Right, you can't. They don't open as submenus. They take over this screen. It's possible that Ecamm. I'm trying to remember how I believe this is exactly how it looks in vanilla Zoom, but if you click on it now, it basically takes you into video and effects. If I click on audio, it takes me into this. There's no like, it doesn't drop down.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm not a fan of this design choice, but who am I to say? Yeah, there are a number of different things that look different, but that to me, that's the biggest hurdle, is the settings thing, is being able to find settings. It's just, yeah. So in any case.
Okay, so good to know for what's coming for us. Yeah, good to know for us, because we don't have these updates yet unless you're on the alpha team. So David, thank you for letting us know. And even just staying on top of the Zoom stuff, it's kind of cool, some of the updates that are available. So welcome, happy 2026.
Tatiana, why it's good for us to know the regular Zoom stuff also, because our guests, our students, are not in Ecamm for Zoom. They're in vanilla Zoom. And so if they're looking for something, for us to be able to help them know where to go is also important or helpful.
And to add to that, just in case anything goes wrong with Ecamm, we have to be able to just connect on Zoom. So we always have to have that, So I agree. Thanks. I know you've got the inside scoop on things, so thanks for keeping us up to date with that. And welcome everybody to our first meeting of 2026. This is a group for people who use Ecamm and are also an educator in some way, whether that's official or unofficial. And we had decided at our December meeting that for January, we would start small breakout rooms in groups of 3-ish people where we would get to talk a little bit more individually and share how we use Ecamm in teaching and just start to get to know each other. We can't all share all the time at every meeting because we are trying to stay at about an hour. But I thought this would be a really nice way for us to get to know each other, what we do, how we contribute to the world of education, teaching, learning, in addition to being Ecamm users. So that's what we're going to do in part for our time today, as well as talk about Google Notebook LM. David, I know you've got experience with that. I've got experience with that, and anybody else who has it and wants to share. But they have come out with some really exciting updates that truly matter for education. And I'd love to share how I'm using it and hear how you guys are using it, or if you're interested in using it. But it just keeps getting better. Like most AI tools out there, it just keeps getting better and better. So welcome to everybody that's here. Glenn, as well as Demetra, Stephen, Mac, and I said hello to you guys earlier, but welcome. So happy to have you all here. So David, would you mind making me co-host, and then I can, or am I already? Maybe I already am.
You're not, but I will make you that now. And I just opened some breakout rooms for us.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
And you are
much.
co-host. Mazal tov, as we say in the old country.
So, okay. So we've got 3 breakout rooms. So, and actually, I think we said, David, too, that since we're recording the main room, some of us will stay in the main room. So, David, if you don't mind staying in the main room, I'll head over to room 1. So maybe and Demetra, I'm not sure if I know your camera's off. Are you able to do breakout room? If not, you're welcome to stay in this main room here. Just let me know if you're able to join a breakout room.
I have it set up so people can move themselves. So if she's able to, she will.
Okay. But if not, Demetra, you can go right ahead and stay in this main room. I'm not sure if you're just in like podcast mode and able to listen today, but I'll head over to, let's see, there's 3, 6, 7 of us. So let's just do 2 rooms, meaning the main room staying here or joining me in room 1. So a couple of you want to come join me in room 1, and then everybody else can just hang out over here. I think that would be a nice split. So, and David, if you wouldn't mind, let's see, I can probably, actually, I guess I can't once the rooms are already done, but how about we do this for 10 minutes? 10 minutes sound good? Okay, awesome. All right, I'll head over to room 1. See you guys back in 10.
Oh yeah, I can't do it now. Hey Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes. Okay. Hey Glenn, how you doing?
Okay.
Beautiful. So Glenn, tell us, and then Mac will come to you. Tell us what you do, what you teach, what you're into, how you use Ecamm.
Okay. I'm 82 years old, and
No, you're not. You're 82 years young. Come on.
well, okay, but I've been a tech nerd for, I don't know, 30 to 40 years. I've been in the music business. I ran a company, a number of companies. I was international vice president of Gibson Guitar, and have been involved in the music business my whole life. Anyway, I retired.
Wait. Stop. I'm sorry. You can't just like say you're international vice president of Gibson Guitar with 2 guys who both play guitar. Mac, am I correct about that? You're a guitarist also, yes?
Right.
Like, come on now.
Yeah.
What?
Right.
What?
And after
Amazing.
that, I spent about 9 years there. And then after that, I joined a company and we owned custom amplification and BC Rich guitars. So that was heavy metal stuff in those days. But in any case, I retired, and in about 2006, 2008, and subsequently I started teaching at Northwestern University, doing it until COVID hit in person, and then switching over to virtual, Zoom, and so forth. So I've been working essentially since COVID hit in 2018 to 19 with Zoom. I started
Glenn,
first
excuse
with
me, what did you teach at the university?
music history, mostly
Okay.
music history. So I would teach classes on Cole Porter, on modern day music, Bruce Springsteen, all of that. And then I also am doing a course now that should be very exciting. It's called Trailblazing Women in Music, starting with the 1300s, basically the 14th century, up to today. And then that's 7-week course. And then after that, it'll be another 7-week course called Trailblazing Men in Music. And then I'm also teaching I'm in Chicago, I'm teaching at a library here called the Newberry Library, Newberry. And that I'm doing also virtually. And that's going to be a course on Shall We Dance. It's the history of dance from the beginning of movement of people, from chimpanzees all the way up to today. So I have a very interesting life that way. I have a studio, dual monitors. I mean, I have a lot of equipment that I've purchased over the years. I started out with OBS, and of course, it's just so difficult to manage, especially when you're doing things on your own. So then I found Ecamm and switched over to that, and I just love Ecamm. It's just incredible. And since they came out with the upgrade to Zoom, it's just so easy to use, and it's fabulous. So that's basically my history in 5 minutes.
Amazing. Fantastic.
I'm out of here. Goodbye.
Yeah, really, exactly. Right. Look at those guitars behind you. Go ahead, Mac. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Mac, or my real name is Dragan Ružić. I come from old former Yugoslavia in the Balkans of Europe. And I moved to Sweden in '92. And before that, I was living in Yugoslavia, Hungary, Italy, Germany. And then moved eventually to Scandinavia, where I met my wife. And that's why I'm here. So I've been a professional musician within acoustic blues, country, ragtime, like Americana, what's it called today. Early country blues stuff, and then little Chicago blues and all that. So I do envy you, sir, Glenn, living in Chicago. And yeah, and Gibson guitars were my absolute favorite brand until I met this Swedish luthier who made some wonderful guitars, very much based on Gibson design. And since then, I moved to these Sanding guitars from Sweden. But L4 is one of the models that I'd love to have once.
I have
maybe
an
again.
I have an L5 that they gave me when I retired. And by the way,
beautiful.
do you live in Sweden now?
Yeah, I live in
Okay,
southern
so
Sweden.
have you
in
ever heard of
Helsingborg.
Luthman music?
Oh yeah.
Well, they were
Yes.
my best friends.
Oh, great.
Nicholas and I spent a lot of time together.
I know because I know him and the whole gang because we used to work together on many guitar trade shows and fairs
Wow,
in
it's a small world,
Scandinavia.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I used to demo both Gibson guitars, and then they wanted me to do Taylors, but I didn't like them too much. And then
Oh, I was just going to say, will I get in trouble if I say I'm a Taylor guy? because that's all I
Absolutely
play are
not.
Taylors.
No,
They're
you won't
wonderful
get in
instruments.
trouble.
It's just in the fingers, you know. It's
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, Dimitra and Dick, good to see you here. We're just kind of taking a few minutes to get to know one another. And kind of how we use Ecamm. Dimitra, do you want to? Oh, Mac, did I cut you off? Are you good?
No, I'm using Ecamm for teaching, either workshops or individual, and I have 3 cameras in the studio, and I have one zoomed on my face and 2 on my guitars, on my hands, but they're really zoomed in closely so people can see it in detail. And Ecamm is fantastic for that.
By the way,
and all that.
Mac, I notice you have a resonator guitar hanging on the wall back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Continental German copy of 1927 Tricone style one.
Right. Yeah.
Wonderful guitar. Wonderful. Yeah. All right.
Dimitra, do you want to say hi?
Dimitra.
Okay, hi, everybody. I'm also a musician. So I'm very happy hearing you guys talk about music. I'm a pianist. I was doing all, I'm a classical pianist, but when I went to Stanford for my doctorate, and I did it in performance practice, which David and Dick, I'll assume you don't know what that is. It's the study of how music was performed when it was written.
Right.
And I didn't mean to study. I just applied because I lived across the street. I mean, it's one of these crazy stories. And they didn't have a degree in performance, but they did take doctoral students in piano because every music department needs pianists, right? So I had the great fortune and pleasure of playing for the Stanford Chorale and for a lot of wonderful musicians there, but they were mostly undergrads because the grads are mostly in education, composition, theory, computer music, all those. Anyway, then I ended up living in Greece for 20 years, and I got obsessed with cooking and food, and then I got obsessed with the language. So now I do teach piano still in person, and I teach Greek language and Greek cooking online. And Ecamm, from the time I was introduced to it, which is about 5 years ago, I wanted to use it, but I just couldn't wrap my head around it. And then over the years, as I was making my videos, and I was never thrilled with my videos, I was like, okay, if I learn Ecamm, I know I'm gonna be out. So finally, in the last few months, I started making videos using Ecamm, and I'm just so happy. I want to be the president of the fan club. And another reason I really love Ecamm is because of these support calls. Like, I've now been on quite a few calls in the past 4 or 5 months, and I'm amazed by the support, and I love the software, and I'm just working on, I have already said on these calls that I wish that I had something that would hang from my ceiling that would be above the keyboard, above, the stove, and all the things. But I got an Osmo 3 because Doc told me to get one. And that's my new toy. So I'm feeling like now that
Awesome.
I have that camera, I already started playing around with it. It's really fun. So that's why I live out in Chicago. And after living in Greece for 20 years, so Glenn, I already just looked online at your Newberry. Well, I was excited you said Newberry, but then you said it was online. But anyway, I love the arts in Chicago are amazing. And so that's my deal.
Awesome. Dick, I'm gonna give you 1 minute, and then I'm gonna close the breakout rooms. Say hi.
Okay. Hi. Yes. Well, I myself are not in music. So I'm a technical guy. I do business engineering, so I help the business with the business process, looking for the future, how they can change things. Also, musicians. So if you want to start something and to start something new and don't know what, then I help them. Yeah, talking about the music, I have 3 children here at home. In total, I have 5, but 3 here at home. They play a lot of music in orchestra. So they are 12, 13, and 15. One is playing trumpet, one cello, and one violin. So that's Yeah, a lot of music. And yeah, I share your region, Mac. I'm also living in Sweden, but then in the north, in a neighborhood of yeah, Sundsvall or Härnösand, if you know it. It's so it's the Höjekusten, they call it. So yeah, that's short of mine. Yeah, the minute is short. So
I know. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. All right, let
that's
me
fine.
bring them back in. This was more of music for educators rather than Ecamm for educators, but that's okay.
But
It
I'm
was
also in
music.
teaching.
It was music to my ears.
Yeah. But I'm also doing teaching, of course. It's but then as for the master of yeah, business engineering. This.
I
Yeah.
have to step away for 2 seconds. So Tatiana, I'm going to give this over to you.
Sure. Yeah, I'll take over. I
Hey,
just got a
hello,
taste
Tatiana.
of what I Hi, Dick, how are you? I just got a taste of
Fine,
what it
thank you.
feels like in my own classes when when I close out the breakout rooms and people are like mid-sentence. Like I that's exactly what just happened to me. So I left my group in a cliffhanger about what's coming next in my life. But it actually connects to what we want to talk about next, which is Google Notebook LM. And I teach at a university, but I also, through my Tatiana Teaches platform, I want to help other educators to teach in engaging, meaningful, and lively ways, and to basically, in a sentence, to not be boring, forgettable educators, but rather to be memorable, to be engaging, to be the professor that students love and remember by creating a wonderful space. And that includes being visually engaging, which is why I'm a huge Ecamm fan. Now, unfortunately, Ecamm is Mac only, so I can't, and it's paid, as you guys all know. So sadly, I can't teach that to my students because I don't expect my students to go pay for this, and not all of them have Macs. But I do teach them Camo, and that's actually part of my curriculum that I'm building in. And in March, I'm going to be teaching at the Rutgers Online Learning Conference all about virtual cameras. And I'm going to give a demo of Camo because, again, educators, I don't mean to stereotype, but I feels like educators are not always tech savvy. If we were to group them all, it's kind of like fearful of technology. So I think those of us in here that are educators are probably on the other end of that. Like, we're tech savvy, we're enthusiastic about it. But the other tool that I'm spending a lot of time sharing and teaching on is Google Notebook LM. And just a little moment of celebration. Last week, I was hired by a graduate program department to come and teach the other professors about being engaging. So I teach at the undergraduate level. This was for students teaching in the Masters of Communication. And that was really exciting. I got to share a bunch of techniques and, show off Ecamm and what's possible and all these really cool things. And Stream Alive, another interactive tool that I use. But today I wanted to, as we talked about last time, we wanted to share a bit about Google Notebook LM, which is a free tool. And just at a high level, the way that I love to use it is, first of all, I love that you bring in your own sources. So where it gets its information from, you control. You put in sources that you find credible versus other AI tools that are also awesome that I also use, but they're pulling resources from different locations. This one is, I get to say what information you use. So, for example, I created a notebook about Google Notebook LM to do a demo with you guys to share this with you. So I was like, oh, if I'm going to teach people about Google Notebook LM, let me make a notebook all about this. So let me just find a screen share somewhere in here. Screen share. This should be, you guys should be able to see, and let me spotlight myself for the moment so that, in case this looks really tiny to you guys. And so, sorry, I'm also realizing that I'm not in the appropriate position for here. 1 second. Okay, so here is the main screen, right? Each one of these tiles represents a notebook that I created. So here's the Google Notebook LM. On this left-hand side here, what I've done is add sources. I've added YouTube videos, I've added PDFs, I've added text. And when you go to add a source, you can upload a file, you can include a website, YouTube, you can add something from Google Drive, or just copy and paste text. So it does, there are a lot of things you can do, but there are some things you cannot bring in here, right? It does really nice job with PDFs, copying text, and it does a great job with YouTube videos and websites. So I brought in a bunch of sources, a total of 12, I think, are here. And so then the next section here is this chat section in the middle. You'll be familiar like how we can chat with GPT or Gemini or Claude. You can just start typing and talking to it here. What's nice is that whenever the first thing that I asked it to do was to give me a brief description of what Google Notebook LM is that will make sense to educators. So I just put in something super basic. And it gave me this whole description here. But what's nice is that it also tells me where it's getting its information from. So it gives me in-text citations, which is a pretty cool thing. Then on the right-hand side, we have the studio and all of the things that are possible. Many of you guys have heard, and we've talked about, it creates a live podcast between two AI characters, and it sounds quite realistic. So it will create an audio overview. And I want to share with you how I use this in my class. My students do an individual persuasive speech. Then they do a reflection on that. So I use Google Notebook LM to bring in all of their reflections. And I like that Google promises it does not train its data on your uploaded sources. And they put it in writing. So that means that it's keeping my students' information confidential. So I'm able to use that versus, uploading their stuff to ChatGPT, even though I have the training turned off in ChatGPT. So I brought all of their individual reflections. So just imagine you're one of my students and you reflected on your delivery and your speech. I uploaded all of that. And then I gave the audio overview instructions saying, hey, this is going to be listened to by the people who authored these reflections. They're students in my public speaking class. I'm Tatiana Rodriguez, so talk directly to them. And it did. It created this really engaging, insightful, it used their names. They were kind of freaked out by it because here's this AI saying their name. So, just imagine Mac, Glenn, Steven, like you're listening to this and it's like, well, Steven commented that he was open and willing to be vulnerable, but there were some moments where he stumbled and you're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So that is a common one people do know about is Google Notebook became very famous for the podcast feature. But now they also have a video overview feature and it will create a video. So this is one that I did just recently. I haven't even looked at it. I just had it create a video overview based on all 12 sources.
Today, we're diving into a really interesting AI tool.
I wanted to make sure, can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Great. So I'm just going to let it play for a little bit.
From Google called Notebook LM. It's pitched as your very own personal research assistant, but the question is it actually as helpful as it sounds?
I mean, we've all been there, right? You feel like you're just drowning in information. You've got dozens of research tabs open, a pile of PDFs to get through, maybe even hours of video lectures you're supposed to watch. It's a huge problem for pretty much anyone trying to learn or create something new today. Well, it turns out Google has built a specialized AI tool designed specifically to deal with that exact problem. It's called Notebook LM, and it's being sold as this all-in-one AI partner for your learning and research. Now, it promises to basically turn you into a content-creating machine and just supercharge your learning. But, and this is the big question, does this powerful shortcut have a hidden catch? Is it maybe a little too easy? Let's dig in. So what makes Notebook LM any different from, say, ChatGPT or Gemini? Well,
I'm just going to pause there for a second to let you guys know that I did nothing other than upload all of the sources and then click video overview inside the studio. And what it has created is, so far from what I'm hearing, and again, I'm hearing it for the first time with you guys, it asks curiosity-driven questions. It's made all of these different graphics and video tools. So I'm like, this is really not bad. This is really not bad. And I would have to dig in a little deeper to see about sharing this with my students and how it all might work. But I'd love to hear a couple of reactions, what you guys are hearing so far.
What I
I'll
did
say right
here was,
away, it's engaging. I just want to say it's really engaging. Its output was engaging. The voice, of course, is clean, but the support of the graphics are really next level graphics. These are not simplified graphics. This would take each one of us quite some time in Canva, wherever it is that we're building this. So these are next level graphics. The voice is solid, and the curiosity driven questions are really powerful. I found myself very quickly engaged, wanting to know more.
Stephen, I was
Thank
also
you, Stephen.
wondering about the voice. It was really clear. Was it your voice, David? It sounds like you.
Yeah, thanks for
No,
those reactions, guys. But you're sharing very similar to what I'm experiencing with this tool.
yeah.
I'm
So
wondering
let
if
me.
this is really free. I mean, what's the
Yes,
level that it's free up to?
the only limitation that I know of right now is 50 sources per notebook, and I think on a
Okay.
different plan there's more, but that's the only limitation that I've come across so far. And I am on, this is not connected to the university, it's just my own regular plan. Let me go back to the studio here so I can show you guys. There's the audio overview. That was a little sample of the video overview. There is also a mind map, and I will show you a mind map based on 9 sources. So here it starts to divide the content into these different categories. So this might help us organize modules, organize series, do all kinds of training and education, or even our own learning. So I actually I love sharing this with students and educators. For the students, because I think it will really help them study and interact with content, not just read or just use AI. Like it to me, this actually engages the brain much more than simply asking for answers to things. And then it will even subdivide. So if we look at collaboration and sharing, then it divides that even further. So I thought that this was pretty interesting. And then it also gives you reports, like summary docs and reports. You can make flashcards. Here is a sample of the flashcards. So you can study or learn or test yourself. What is the primary organizational concept around which notebook LM? I forgot to spotlight myself, but hopefully you guys are seeing me okay. What is the primary organizational concept around which notebook LM is built? Maybe not worded so easily. I might reword that, but it gives you the answer on the other side. And these are visually interesting note cards. Like, they don't look crappy. They actually seem pretty good. And so that's the flashcards feature. You can create quizzes, interactive quizzes based on your sources, and infographics. So I thought I created an infographic. Yeah, this is the infographic I created. So let's see. Check this out, guys. Again, I did nothing other than click the button, and this is what we have. This one-page visual. I mean, one way that I can see myself using this is uploading my notes, my summaries of all my classes from last semester, and creating something like this as a guide for myself or as a guide for my students. Like, here's that one-page high-level overview of what we're going to cover in class this semester. So many possibilities. But again, on first glance, I'm not seeing any typos in the text. Yeah, the text has that weird AI look to it, but there's no misspellings that I can see off the top of my head. Everything looks legible.
That by the way is a really heavy lift. No misspellings. That's really hard for AI. So
look at that. I mean, there are none that I can see. Oh, look, here's answering the question about the free versus paid. It's right here. Free, 100. Oh, you do have a 100 notebook limit with 50 sources and 50 daily queries. The paid version, 500 notebooks, up to 300 sources with 500 daily chat queries. So that's the limitations right there.
Is this a
And
monthly?
oh,
Is this a monthly thing, or you have to pay it one time a year?
That's a good question, and I don't know the answer because I don't pay for Google stuff, but my bet is
I think
all the
monthly.
other ones are monthly. All the other ones are monthly, but I don't know if sometimes Google has like enterprise accounts. I know like the university has like these enterprise accounts, so it might depend. I'll have to get back to you on that answer.
I think there's more than enough available free to get deeply into this, it seems. And
Yeah.
then you could make a, return on X valuation if you want to upgrade that at the time when you kind of find yourself up against the edge. And that's what, it's very easy. Like I'll pay $1,000 a month for something that makes me $10,000 a month, and I won't pay $8 a month for a Netflix that I'm not watching. So I think that it just basically, it's nice to see they give you this much that you don't feel up against the wall right away feeling that you need to pay. You know how some of them are, you only get so many credits or whatever they call them, tokens, and you run out of tokens. Oh, that one video used up all your tokens. Come back tomorrow. Like, so I think this is pretty fair.
I see it is
Yeah.
monthly. Yeah, they yeah, all kind of prices. I see something between 9.60 to $12 or $15 or €15 for me. It's so it will be the same in dollars, but it's monthly.
Thanks for looking that up. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Here's the
And so,
here I can just share that. So this is the pricing here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Notebook LM in Plus, Notebook LM in Pro, and Notebook LM in
Oh,
Ultra.
no prices.
Let's see. Sign into your personal. Oh, see, I'm on a business account, so that's why that doesn't work. But yeah, I mean, basically it goes up and up and up. Plus, in specific regions.
Oh, they do have educational
Yeah, they
possibly
do.
yeah,
pricing, right?
my university has the Google Education Workspace one, but I I haven't started to build notebooks there because I wanted to first just test like what will this be like, just solo free account to see what it's like. But yes, there are enterprise type of accounts.
No, but it's
And then
good. We
if I
always
may
have to
show you
remind
guys,
ourselves as educators to check for educational pricing. I
oh,
remember when I found out
100%.
that Mac gave me 10% off everything by being an educator. It was like, oh geez, I just saved 250 bucks on my new mini. So better in my pocket than theirs.
Absolutely. Yes, Mac, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I kind of compared a little bit what you said about Notebook LM. I still haven't tried it. I'm puzzled, but I've had, my hands full with both first ChatGPT, then I bought the business account on Notion. I upgraded only because of the AI. And there's also this reference to Notebook LM only using your sources to, create the replies and all that. That's also what I can do with Notion. So it only uses my own workspace as a source of information. And then there's this Comet browser that's based on
Yes.
Perplexity's engine, which is also great at showing the source of information where they found things to reply to me. So it's like, yeah, but I'll try the Notebook LM, definitely. Interesting.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'm so glad you're going to test this out. And there are so many great videos that are out there too to help guide us as beginners to it or once we get to an intermediate or advanced level. So, I just thought we've all expressed enough interest in it here that I thought let's chat about it. So I'm glad you're going to explore that a bit, Mac. And I also use Notion to organize my stuff. I don't have the free version. I mean the one that includes AI. I don't have that version just yet, but I also use ChatGPT That's my other AI bestie.
I
Yes,
am
Glenn, your
wondering
hand
what.
is up.
Sorry.
I was going to say, if you want to see, I just created an infographic like in under 2 minutes, and it's incredible. Like I was just from two sources, and or one source actually. So it's great if you have lots of sources, but let's say one source was just an article that you wrote or
Yep.
something, and you want to extract an infographic out of it and then use it to reinforce point. We all know that people engage by looking at, the visuals and stuff like that instead of just the words. And I'm looking at it here, and it's very different than the one that you just showed. So our topics are different, of course, but it's very different. And yet I can see certain like similarity in themes, but somebody wouldn't think that all of ours are created from the same source. They didn't come from all the same
Nice.
pot. So that's it's
Can
nice
you
to see.
can you share it in the chat with us, Stephen? The graphic?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. And Glenn, your hand is up. Go for it.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it's very interesting with the educational discounts and things like that. I had contacted Ecamm to work with them because, and that, I teach teachers also, so I'm trying to get them to to switch to Ecamm. They use all kinds of other things, but I wanted them to switch to Ecamm. And I found out, of course, Ecamm is pretty strict. They won't, they wouldn't give me any deal or anything like that on the cost of the program, except that I found out that on Black Friday you can get a 40% discount. And so I thought I would just mention that because it's amazing. And I don't even have to register every year. They just register me and on Black Friday, and there I have a 40% discount.
Oh, that's interesting, Glenn. The 40% discount is fantastic. Now, I've been with Ecamm for going on 5 years, and when I first came in, there was an educational discount because I did receive it. It was definitely not 40%, but
No,
there was some kind of an
right.
educational discount. So I'm just wondering if that's no longer
I don't,
available because you said,
I don't know. I think that was a 20% discount when you first came in because that's what they were willing to give me originally. And I came in about 5 or 6 years ago as well. And
oh, okay.
when they first started. But this 40% discount is amazing. I mean, it's just terrific.
Yeah,
Black
that is
Friday,
a really good.
that's all you have to remember. And in fact, it usually comes in about 3 or 4 days before Black Friday. So it's great.
Nice. Yeah. We got to use up as much, and maybe in a future thing we can talk about all of the tools, all of the systems that offer educational discounts like Canva. I get a free premium Canva account for education because you have to verify, right? You have to send it from your institutional email, and a
I
couple
have
others,
that
but
as well. Canva's very good at that.
absolutely. Awesome. Dick, your hand is up.
Yeah, thank you. I was wondering about it was says you can have 50 sources. Do you know mean what they mean with the sources?
Yes. Yes. So, and a source counts as one piece of information. So you see how I have one one YouTube video. Here's the first
Mhm.
one. Then
Okay, so
let me
it's
just make
one
this.
video,
Yes. So
one
everything in
document.
my source
Yeah.
is like one video, one document, one PDF, one copy
Hey.
paste document. All of those things are sources. So we can have up to 50 sources in one notebook. But if I go
Only.
back out to
For
my
me,
main,
it's only.
oh,
Yes.
because you're working in massive amounts of
I am,
sources.
yes, I work with a lot of literature. I bring that together as from one topic I have already 30, 40. And if I bring some topics together and want to share it, then I'm up to 300 papers.
Yes. So then
So,
in your case, you there'd be like a couple of workarounds. You could either consolidate, like, are these students'
Mm,
documents, like 400
you have
student
to choose,
documents?
yeah.
You might put multiple student documents into one PDF.
Mm,
That's kind of a bit of a
yeah,
workaround, or paying for the higher one, which is 500 sources it was.
yeah.
But yeah, when you're
But even
working
then,
with,
yeah,
I
yeah.
would have that problem. Like in my public speaking class, my class size is 25. In my asynchronous social media course, there are 1,000 students registered. I'm responsible for 25% of those students. The other instructor is a 75%, so we have that agreement. But still, I wouldn't be able to do that same thing that I can do in my public speaking class just because of the sheer size, unless I combined one combine multiple student responses into one PDF,
Mm,
which would take me a lot, and
Yes.
that defeats the purpose of trying to do something like this.
yeah.
Tatiana, just to let you know, it wouldn't take anything at all. All you need is a super simple agentic AI to do it.
I was even thinking maybe a script, but that is one thing I
Yeah.
need to learn, Stephen, is how to incorporate the agent piece, because there are so many things that I do that having that ability would solve for me. So that's the next level of AI for me.
AI
And
can
it's
Maybe
do.
and it's basic.
2026.
It's some of that stuff is so basic. So you literally could ask ChatGPT right now. You could say, how would I consolidate 250 PDFs into one PDF as simply as possible before you even have to build an agent? And it would
Mm,
tell you. And then secondarily, you might want to automate it so that when you drop all of those into this particular folder, it automatically appends a master PDF. And so I just started learning about agentic
yeah.
AI in depth about 6-8 months ago, and I think we're going to find it helpful to us behind the scenes as educators.
I
I think
find
so
that
too. And
I was going to say I find that AI will do a lot of that for you. I use AI to do coding, and it's amazing. You don't have to sit there and fool with the code whatsoever. You just ask it what you want it to do, and it does it. ChatGPT is great at that.
yes, it's absolutely been a game changer for so many people. I keep hitting trouble and limitations and issues. Like, I was just trying to put a Google Doc inside of Canvas, which is the learning management system that we use at our university, and Canvas wasn't doing a great job. And so that's not ChatGPT's fault. It's just like an issue within Canvas, and I couldn't get AI to help me solve it. So I keep hitting some barriers, but I agree that using the tools to help us with these things is fascinating, and it's really helpful.
We used Canvas at Northwestern, and I have to tell you, it's terrible. It's just it's so difficult to work with that, and
I think it needs a major update, but it's
yeah,
better than the system we used to have when I started at the university. My first year, we had to use a different one. That was terrible. That one was like so limiting and structured and cumbersome compared to Canvas. But I think Canvas has a little bit of a ways to go. But I know it's already 5 o'clock. I just want to show you two other features here, and that is the slide deck, because a lot of us have to make slides, and in many ways, I think slides can be dull, but I think we still need to learn. But here is a slide deck that it built for me. One of the things I teach design in my class for slide decks, and it's got way too much text for a true virtual slide presentation. This is more like notes and things, but if you can I make this bigger? Yeah, let me just show it to you guys full screen. Here's the first one, Mastering Google Notebook LM, the ultimate guide to AI-powered research and creation. Like, I wouldn't want it to be so text heavy with all this stuff here in terms of slides, but I'm just gonna, the 3 pillars: trust, synthesis, and privacy, multimodal ingestion. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to say. A source can also be an audio source. An MP3 or a WAV file can also be considered a source. I forgot to mention that one. What I
Do
haven't
you know,
played around with
Tatiana, if
is
you sorry, I was just going to ask you, do you know when you're creating the slide decks, can you control the output? I don't know how many of you are using Gamma, but I use Gamma right now to give me some ideas, and I can control, minimum, maximum, like text and stuff like that. So you give it parameters. Can we do that within this?
These are the parameters for the slide deck. You can choose detailed deck or presenter slides. So you could choose one of these two, either detail or presenter. So I think default was detailed. So I would probably choose presenter slides myself. Clean visual slides with key talking points. Language, and then you can do length short or default. It doesn't explain what those two things mean on the surface, but those are the two choices. So I'll stick with default for that. And then you can describe the slide deck you want to create. So I think this is where you can customize colors. Like I might say, using my brand fonts, what it did was add a high level outline or guide the audience style and focus. Create a deck for beginners using a bold and playful style with a focus on step-by-step instructions. So let me generate a new one based on a more presenter slide deck, and then I don't know how long it will take, but it's working, and you can click outside of this and keep going and come back to it when it's ready. So we'll come back to that in just a sec. And then the last one is generating a data table from your sources, which I have never done before. That's a new one to me, a data table. And you can go, you can add multiples of these. But that's a quick overview that I wanted to give you guys to share. And it sounds like interesting enough. Also, here's the table. Let's see what that looks like. So I guess the table basically puts the content into features, descriptions, supported formats, primary use cases, educational benefits, interactivity level, user limitations. Okay, so this could be a nice quick guide for me as an educator to say, like, I'm going to teach on these different areas. I mean, I find the content to be really helpful in organizing myself and behind the scenes and to prepare as I'm getting ready to teach something. And even to provide insight in ways that, which is what Stephen was saying in our small group earlier, just hearing about your own work, like for me to be able to enter my class content into here and just hear, how does that come across to AI? How do they synthesize it? How do they organize it? Is pretty fascinating. Cool.
The
So
rate at which
there you have it.
The rate at which they have iterated this product is mind blowing to me. Adding the mind map, adding the slides, adding the data table. It's just, and it's, I mean, nothing's free, but it's free. Like, that's crazy.
Absolutely.
Well, just remember, when something's free, you're the product.
I know.
Yeah.
So if you're
Right.
interested in that, by the way, not this Thursday, but next Thursday on the rundown, that's our topic of selling yourself for free. But I mean, they can take me. They can.
I'm already in the database ever since in my travel days. I had high level security clearance to go onto airplanes and tarmacs and stuff like that. They've had everything for me for so long. Yeah, I'm just not that exciting to pay attention to. So that's good.
Yeah. Yep.
Guys, I'm also thinking,
but-
imagine we take our classes, the transcripts of our classes, if you do live videos or pre-recorded videos, and just do a little analysis of yourself and maybe ask for feedback. What are some of the things that you do really well as an educator? What are some new strategies you could incorporate? Where do you find some gaps? Where do you need to build more engagement or create more value? Anything that you want to ask it to improve your education or even to improve your skills in Ecamm. You can create an Ecamm notebook in Notebook LM for those of you guys who want to level up in different ways. I know some of us are beginners, some of us are mid-level, some of us been around for a while, but I think that would really be helpful.
What
Sorry,
other
that was
types? I just wanted to ask Tatiana, what did you use before LM?
In terms of AI stuff,
Well, let's go back before AI came in. What did you use then as a teacher?
I asked people to come and observe me in class and give me opinions. Like I would have evaluations. And I did record myself at times. It's not like today where every single one of my classes is recorded virtually on Zoom. And even my in-person classes, they're not all recorded, but I do keep notes and things. So I would periodically review my videos to try not to cringe and things like that and see what I thought and what I could improve. But this makes feedback so much more accessible to me, like real feedback based on my delivery. Whereas before it was more on occasion, and I was relying on student evaluations and student opinions and, just ask. I always invite students to share with me.
About for your research and things like that? Did you use OneNote? Did you use? I mean, this is so much further. Let's say it's so much better than what most of the other types of research tools are available. But before this, I mean, now I would guess that OneNote and Keep and things like that are going to evolve as time goes on. But I've never seen anything as good as this and as accurate as this. That's the one thing that is really amazing about what you're showing is the accuracy of the AI.
Yes, and also the hallucinating part doesn't occur like it does. And I have had it happen to me in ChatGPT where I'm like, okay, that is not what the student said. Where did you get this information from? So that doesn't happen in Notebook LM. Not that it's perfect, but I haven't yet come across something where I'm like, no, that totally just made that up. So you also reminded me of another project that I want to use Notebook LM for, which is before I now use Apple Notes to keep all my notes ever since Notes got an upgrade. I even made a video for it on my YouTube channel about, because I used to use Evernote. So I made a video about switching from Evernote to Apple Notes because Evernote was like charging and Apple Notes got an upgrade. So I just went to Apple Notes. But I have so many notes with engaging classroom activities and ideas that I collected through the years, some from myself, some where I would be at a live performance and I would get an idea. I would hear somebody sharing a message, I would get an idea. And I want to do something with them all instead of just digitally collecting. Like in real life, I don't have a lot of stuff. I'm a minimalist, but I collect so much stuff digitally. And I want to start doing stuff with it instead of just letting it collect digital dust. So I want to bring those notes in to Notebook LM and have it generate a plan for me. Here's some of the ways that I can implement this into my classes. And I might collaborate between Notebook LM and ChatGPT because I do find Chat better at idea generation. For at least I'm more used to it for brainstorming ideas with Chat than with Notebook. But I could have Notebook synthesize it, organize it, create those tables, create a one-page graphic for me, and then bring that into Chat to help me come up with a plan and a strategy. Okay, here's all my ideas. Here's all my lesson plans. Here's my syllabus. Where can I implement these activities so that it's not overwhelming, so that they're well distributed and they make sense with my objectives for the class? So just so many possibilities that we can do with education and these AI tools.
Yeah, at the moment I'm following a Dutch guy, Martijn Aslander. He's talking about digital fitness, and he has a lot of notes what you say, and he brings it together, and within 3 seconds he has everything together what he needs. And what he have brought together, it's incredible what he does. So I'm wondering how he's doing, but for one thing he's using is Obsidian. So everything will be brought back to flat text, and that should be very handy for AI also to find and to combine. And there's some clue in it. So I'm looking at that, how that's possible, because what we all do is bringing information together and bring this to our students in a way they can understand. And and that's also the tool I'm looking for also in this. My question was, how many sources can I bring in? I know that I have to make some steps like wait, he's gone already. Stephen said about you can bring that all back first to in one step to one source, one PDF, and then you can bring that to Google LM.
Yes.
So or no, Notebook LM it was called, yeah.
Yes, Google Notebook LM, but I think Notebook LM for short, but I don't know why I say the whole entire thing. But I really like this concept of digital fitness that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I like the way that your person that you're following phrased it.
Yeah, I don't know if he does it in English. He had written some books also, starting with Obsidian, for instance. For a lot of people, it is quite difficult to start with. But he did write something about it. But there's
What
only
did you
Dutch
say
as far as
his name was?
Martijn. Let me see. Maybe I have something. Just a moment. Just had him here somewhere under the. Yeah, I will put him in his LinkedIn in the notes, in the
Great.
comments, in the chat. Where is my chat now? There. This is the guy.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah. Worth,
And he
maybe
brings
his
everything
videos
together.
like
Yeah. He's
maybe the
one of
videos
the
can
people of
be
the Netherlands.
translated, you know.
Yeah, but he does some amazing stuff with bringing all kind of information together.
Beautiful.
You
Absolutely.
know, Tatiana,
This is
you
great.
were talking about going to Apple Notes, and so I've used all of them also. I was on Evernote, and then I used Notion, and I finally went into ChatGPT and I said, listen, I'm done with all these. I want to create my own. And so help me craft the perfect prompt. And then I went into Lovable and I built, it's called my Moach. Moach is the Hebrew word for brain. So it's my online brain. And I've got notes
Bye,
in
Glenn.
here with tags. I've got tasks. I've got my vault, which is all my passwords are in here. And what's cool is that it, just like in Apple Notes, it's got related notes. So, this knows that.
Wait, David, wait, 1 second. Where does this information live?
So the back end is called Supabase. It's a database program. So I'm just keeping everything right here. Like even some of my let's see here. Let me lock these. So I have some notes that are locked, by default, so that even if someone gets into my computer, they have to have a password to get in. It's amazing what you can do. I can have voice memos. I can transcribe. I can add images. I can even create a task from show this off. And now if I go over to tasks, I have a task here that's connected to that thing. It's like,
wow, that's pretty cool.
So it's so amazing what we can do now with all these, we can just create our own bespoke apps to fit our needs, and it's wild.
How much did it cost you, David?
Didn't cost, nothing. I mean, I paid for Lovable. I probably used 40 to 50 credits on Lovable to build that, maybe more. 40 to 50 credits.
I'm considering maybe trying to ask some of the AIs to help me with coding my own app for my in real life guitar retreat that I'm running. And it would be great to have, I can do a web interface in Notion and just pass it out to my students while we're there on the island. But none of them has Notion, so they cannot write to me into that.
Right.
And to just share the Google Forms or something that's rudimentary. It's old.
Yeah, so I've built a whole bunch of apps.
Wow.
These are all apps that I've built. So I actually decided I wanted my own custom guitar tuner. So it's really meant for your phone.
Sorry for interrupting, guys. I have to hop off. Somebody's at the door, but thank you for a great session, guys. We will talk again next time. Thank you so much, guys. Great to
See
see
you
you.
later.
Thank you.
Bye,
Yeah.
Tati.
Thank
See you
you.
soon,
Bye.
Tatiana. Bye bye.
You know, so
Yeah.
I made myself a little guitar tuner here, and
Yeah.
what else? I mean, some of these are really kind of like this one. So this is actually really, this is an in-depth tracker for my students. So we add evidence for students, evidence of learning. We can track each student's, what they've learned. We can add evidence of that. We can track their character growth. But this was all built using AI. It's amazing what you can do today. Just amazing.
So you
All
built
the
all
pro-
that
all of
in
our-
lovably? What's it called?
Lovable.
Lovable.
Yeah. So this is the progress report for my students, and it did all of this. It took all the data and it just created all of this. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then it emailed it out to them.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, I see also you used the hashtags, so it was also one of the things to use a lot of hashtags that you can bind the things. A lot of programs are using it and to make the combination what is linked to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So, in any case,
In any case,
right,
thank you
friends.
so much, guys.
Thank
It's been a
you.
pleasure. 17th of February next time, right? So
We'll see you at the next
Yes.
one for 17th. You